All right, my name is Nachie Braga. I'm a contractor with Geomancer Permaculture working on the native renaturalization of this greenway, which is the Kilrush Drive greenway. So we are standing on the left bank of Wolf Run Creek. This is a residential neighborhood in Cardinal Valley, Lexington. We had several residential single-family homes in this area on my left here, and about 20 years ago, the city, using some FEMA flood mitigation money, demolished them all and just turned them into this mowed turf grass area. And then about 2 years ago, the city came through. They were redoing some sanitary sewer lines that run through this area, and in the aftermath of that, we started working to remove some of the invasive brush, mainly bush honeysuckle, that had taken over the bank here, and start replacing it with some native fruit and nut-bearing tree species that could be kind of an amenity for the neighborhood. So this project got started as a partnership between the City of Lexington and a watershed advocacy nonprofit called the Friends of Wolf Run Watershed. In the aftermath of that sanitary sewer line work, we were able to get some money through water quality incentive grants dealing with stormwater and other water quality issues to come in here, do the restoration, put in the fruit trees. Subsequently, we were able to get additional funding from City Council through neighborhood development funds, and we've been applying for forest farming and food forest grants through other groups like the Appalachian Beginning Forest Farmer Coalition and some other sustainable development nonprofits. So my role in the restoration has been as the lead contractor. We come in here, we do some of the mechanical removal of the invasive shrubs, maybe some of the larger trees, even some understory stuff as we find it. And then once that's cleared out, I walk the site, I kind of get a sense for how it feels, how a person wants to move through here, if there are areas that maybe we want to build paths through. And then we start thinking about what kind of trees, native shrubs, other plants we might want to fit in there. And then we have to cross-reference with what plant material is actually available, what the growers have, what time of year it is, what's appropriate to plant, and so forth. And we start dotting things in, putting them in as appropriate, and slowly building up from there. So certainly one challenge that we've faced here is just all the kind of administrative hurdles in dealing on city property where we have a lot of different utilities running through. We have buried sanitary sewer lines, stormwater lines, we have overhead utilities with the power company, telecoms. Every single one of those has to be notified, communicated with, and some sort of approval handed down before we can do our work here. Another major challenge that we faced is just kind of a cultural change, I think, around the idea of what these spaces should be. So growing food here, bringing in fruit trees, and then getting the surrounding neighborhoods to appreciate and see this space as an amenity, as a resource that they have the ability to interact with and to benefit from. So often in ecological restoration, we kind of say, all right, there's an expert, there's a biologist, or there's someone who knows what all the plants are, and they're the only ones who should be down here. They are the ones who should be making all the decisions, and if anybody else gets involved, they're just going to mess it up. The idea here is that it's really only successful if we get the greatest number of neighbors into this space, using it, taking ownership of it, and so that's a really different way of approaching a project like this. Another aspect that's really important at all restoration sites, but particularly on a project like this, is getting the surrounding community involved. And that's something that I play a lead role in as well. So informing them about what's happening, getting their volunteer labor involved when appropriate, talking to them about what kind of food they want to see planted down here, and really just trying to make sure that there's as much of a sense of ownership from the surrounding community as possible around this project. Something that I would say to anyone who's thinking about adopting a greenway or to encourage them to get involved in ecosystem restoration is that it really might positively impact more aspects of your life than you'd think of at first. A challenge that we're really all facing in modern society is a sense of disconnection from the conditions of our daily lives. And this is the kind of thing that allows you to physically intervene in your material reality. So when you plant a tree, you put in some flowers, whatever it may be, something happens in your brain where you say, wow, I had a positive impact. I really changed something. What else can I do? You start thinking, wow, I'm not disempowered. I have the ability to make positive change in all kinds of aspects of my life. And this is a way to get really grounded in that and to experience it firsthand and then show your neighbors about that as well.